Ro, Ro, Rohan. Who is this guy? Rohan. The one and only Rohan.
Thank you, gentlemen. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Corner. This week, I've been skirting around the issue for some time now. I mentioned it a couple of times last year. I've talked about it a few times, slipped in a few little hints this year. I'm talking about the 20th anniversary. You've got it. You've thought of it. It is the big one, the best thing to come out of Transformers collecting in 2002, the biggest change in everything we got from Transformers of the era. It is, of course, the 20th anniversary celebration of the amazing... No, it's not Armada. It's the Takara Generation 1 reissues. Yes, in 2002, we got some absolutely delicious bookcase reissues of 1984 Transformers that we hadn't seen on the shelves since the days of the classics packaging, and boy, were they excellent. Takara came out with these bookcase reissues. If you've not seen them, they come with a whole bunch of paperwork in here going through about the figures and the specs and so on and so forth, some of the toy aspects, what accessories they came with, what was out in the time, and also obviously your figures in there. I managed to pick up a few elements to plug my collection with the bits that I had missed from 1984-85, which I hadn't picked up in the 90s for whatever reason. Maybe my parents didn't buy them for me, or maybe I just couldn't find them on the shelves. And so I picked up the Insecticons, I picked up G1 Hound, I picked up G1 Skids, I got Sound Blaster because why not? And I got Megatron because I never had an original Generation 1 Megatron up until this point, and it was my opportunity to be able to get him with a bunch of accessories that you didn't ever get in Generation 1. Obviously you got things like the shoulder grip and the elements that you got for the alt mode, but you also got some massive nice sword and a mace and so on and so forth, which were cool. And we were just in that period of we'd had G1, we'd had G2, we'd had Beast Wars and Beast Machines taking Transformers into a brand new direction, and then the transition series of RID trying to bring it back to the essence of Generation 1 type vehicles combined with the Beasts. And before the Unicron trilogies hit with Armada, we got these from Takara, and then subsequently the year after in Toys R Us we got the commemorative series of figures, which was pretty much all of these and more, covering all the original cast, which for me was absolutely epic. It was the ability to get all those bots that I'd missed out on that at a reasonable price. Let's be honest with you, about 20 quid a figure, and even for the likes of Ultra Magnus and Prime it wasn't too much more expensive. I do remember working at Toys R Us back in 2003 and someone coming in and just picking up every single Prime and buying them all. That's how cost effective they were, and these specifically, the Takara versions, started it all. And it got me thinking, how epic would it be to have the Generation 1 figures reissued again? Okay, there's something to be said about resale values and that sort of thing, but realistically, for those collectors who are coming into it now, who never had the opportunity to get those figures, where the values have skyrocketed to that extent, it was very cool back in those days. And so I went out and I picked up as many of them as I could, and I think I picked up some of these on eBay over the years as well. We can see here with Sound Blaster, came with a couple of cassettes, and he's still here in the box actually. That's a bit odd, I should have taken him out, displayed him. And some of the figures that we just couldn't have gotten back in the day. And I'd love to see Hasbro or Takara do this again, you know, maybe for the 40th anniversary. Certainly we've just had the 35th anniversary of the movie, so why couldn't we do something like this again for the 40th anniversary? That would be very cool. What do you all think? Do you like the fact that we get reissues? I think official reissues from Takara and Hasbro are definitely a good way for them to make extra money, and I don't think they were a lost leader. I think that Takara did a good job. Maybe Hasbro overproduced in theirs commemorative series, and a lot of those figures did end up shelf warming a little bit and getting sold at under retail value, but for collectors like us it was just brilliant. And with this year, the Legacy line and the reissue retools of figures from previous generations like Transformers Prime, we're having a lot of those figures getting retooled into Generation 1 style, but we also had some reissues last year of some of those figures, and I think it would be cool to have more reissues of some of the figures that we had all missed out on in those previous generations. Which reissues would you like to see? For another week, I've been Rohan on Rohan's Corner. Back to the studio.
Oh yeah? Well, screw you guys, I'm going home.